Hey, Max, how are we doing?
Yay, not too bad.
We're here.
Not too bad, thank you.
Let's just quickly say hello to this lovely one. Hello, lovely one.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, First YouTube.
Colin, do you want to say anything? You might as well start tonight off. You might as well say hello.
Well, hello. Have I got to say
Anything
the
else?
special hello? Have I got to say good evening, First Udle, Oodle, Toodle, Boodle?
Has the sun got to you, Colin? I don't know.
I think it is a bit warm. I'll go back to my moderating room.
All right, then. Bye, then.
Bye.
Let's get rid of it. Go on. Bye-bye. It is warm. Don't forget, Colin's here moderating. So if you want to have a shout out, say hello, comment in the chat, and Colin will grab your name and your scout group. Love to have some more scout groups tonight, so that'll be cool. Max, what's happening then? What's happening up north?
Oh well, it's the sun.
Hang on a minute.
It's sunny.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's very warm. So tonight we're going to be mopping brows and drinking juice because it's.
I've still got the brew. Still got the brew going.
No, so I'm on Vimto tonight.
Nice.
I drank all the dandelion and burdock earlier.
Still not. I need to get some.
Yeah, so I had a nice bottle of very cold dandelion and burdock in the fridge.
Beautiful. So nice. What's the current temperature where you are? Let's have a look.
Hot.
Well, it's currently 30 where I am in West London. Went up to 32 today, so boiling. But we're proper English, aren't we? We're moaning about the weather.
And tomorrow it's going to be thunderstorms and.
Well, I was checking. We were just moaning about the weather over the dinner, but apparently in London it's going to be 9% chance of thunderstorms. So it might blow over.
But up north, so
up north. What was very bizarre, actually yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday afternoon. I was a day off yesterday, and I had a random message to see if I was free to come and join a Zoom meeting in Australia, in Melbourne. So I jumped on Zoom and was talking to some cubs in Melbourne, and they were wanting to know about London and what's happening. So I was talking about the temperature. And actually, Grace came on as well, and Grace found it very confusing that it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, something like that. And then it was 8:30, the other side of the world, and nighttime, and it was all very confusing for her. But they were talking about how cold it is. Someone's trying to get in. They were talking about how cold it is, and they're going to have snow. And we were kind of like, it's boiling here. And then we started talking about temperatures, and I said, today is 20, 22, 23, whatever it was. And they were like, oh, that's quite nippy. What? There's us with our flannels mopping our brows. And they were saying, it's not that hot. But wow. Yeah, they got snow, so but it was good.
Let's not forget flag break this time.
Flag break.
You haven't got the flag break picture up, have you? That stumped you.
You talk.
That stumped you.
Go on.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well done. So hopefully tonight I am not going to press my mouse and get off screen. So while Mark finds the flag picture to do flag break, how's the weather where you are? Is it hot? What have you been up to today? There's it's just so warm. I'm just hoping for a bit of decent weather at the weekend. I've been stuck in working these past few days while it's been hot. But if you've been out, managed to get the sun rays, that's fantastic. So, what have you been up to? Andy says plenty of cracking of flags going on already. Yeah, absolutely. With this weather, it's very, very warm. Been by the sea, excellent. There's lots of nice cool breeze by the sea, which is good. So tonight we've got a craft cam, we've got not cam as well, and we've got a couple of badges tonight. So we're going to be doing a look at geocaching, and I think Mark's going to do a little bit of first aid as well, if he's back with the flag. Have you found it, Mark, or are you just leaving me hanging?
I could play the game, couldn't I, and say no. I've got to say, actually, sorry to Al. My sincere apologies, Al. He did send me a really cool video of him and his kids. They made a motorized flag break out of Lego. And I'm so sorry, Al. I will play it on our next vlog in the future. My apologies. So let's do this then. This is the second. Oh God, I can't even pronounce this one. Second Onyx Scout Group. If I have pronounced it incorrect, my apologies. But Max, it's all for you, mate.
Excellent. So everybody make the scout sign and repeat after me. On my honor, I promise I will do my best to do my duty to God and to the Queen, to help other people, and to keep the Scout law. Excellent. Flag's broken. Let's get on with the evening.
It's going to be lots of this, isn't it, Max? Hang on 2 seconds. And we're back. It's going to be lots of that.
You'll have a very shiny forehead by the end of the night, rubbing it like that.
Shall we do a few scout outs before we start? Would you like to say that?
Why not? Why not?
Okay. So let's just take that one off. So evening, scout about. Hello. How did that one get in there? Colin says hello. Charlotte, Leon, well done, mate. It's great to see you there. And I've got a special message that I sent to your mom, so hopefully you got the message from me and Max. Okay, so yeah, I thought so with you, Leon. 21st Bournemouth. Hello. A man that knows all about the hot weather, Gustavo, over in Sao Paulo in Brazil. John.
Hi, John.
Rosie, not David. Rosie's here, one of my scouts.
Rosie.
First Cockermouth Scouts. Hello. Andrew Ben Roger, 4th Hounslow. Evening, guys.
Hi.
Hello to 8th Ealing, best scout group in the entire world.
4th Bramwell is.
Well, we'll see if they're coming tonight. 4th Weather, hello, guys. Abram Scouts, hello. Another dodgy character, Andy. Thanks very much for joining us. Jeremy, can't get Facebook to work on my telly. I haven't put it on Facebook. That's probably why it's not working. I didn't activate. So the way it works, when we do first YouTube Scout Group, we only put it on YouTube. But when we kind of do after parties, we put it on Facebook as well. Just to, I don't know, but that's what we decided. First Danmore Scouts. Hey guys, how you doing? Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Scouting. Ian, thank you very much for your email. And I told Max and Colin, and they both say, well, Max can say.
Thank you.
Cool. Leon's been, oh man, so jealous. So jealous. I've been sweating all day. 50-minute cycle was, that's 50 more minutes than me. Rosie, well done. No good working in.
No, it's been hot. It's...
Chloe, hello. How are we doing? Is it really that hot in the UK, Gustavo? It is. Well,
for us, it is. Yes.
31 degrees. And probably people moaning, saying, "Oh, yeah, it's hotter where we are. We wear jumpers in 31 degrees." Fraser, hello, mate. How you doing? Feels hot for the UK at the moment. Yeah, it's seriously.
It is.
Hot.
It is.
Yeah. Morning, Dominic. Hello, mate. Thank you for joining us. It's all good. We just had a question. Where's Leo? Leo is at a birthday party, Max? Was that right?
Can't remember. Something like that.
I'm sure he's at a birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boss is in. Hello, Governor. Evening all. And Jeremy is logged on YouTube on my telly. Excellent. And as you're on your telly, we might as well do this. The heat has got to us. Leo is at a family party. Cool.
There we go.
Wow. So yeah, lots happening tonight. We're going to be talking geocaching. Hang on. Max, the thing at the bottom of the live stream is very behind. Okay. Thank you, Fraser. Thanks. Max, you frozen. So yeah, tonight we're talking about geocaching. We've got some games to play. We've got Craft Cam, we've got Not Cam, and we're going to be talking a little bit of first aid. Okay, so first aid. We're going to be doing over the next week and a bit or whatever. It's 26 in Sao Paulo. Oh, so London is hotter than you. Excellent. Fraser, really quick question. It's a couple of minutes. It's a minute and a half. That's because I choose what comments go on, so they don't automatically come on the screen. I pick and choose what's going on, just in case some spam bots or whatever come on. So yeah, it doesn't mean that your comments come on straight away. It's that the moderator will pick out the comments for us to show on screen. Let's go. Calls geocaching. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
What should we do? Start with a game?
Let's start with a game. So we've got a few games tonight, actually.
Hey, excellent.
First of all, one that Max actually sent to us during the week, and I was playing along with it. It's really cool. It's Guess the Outdoors landmark. That was it. It says there's cryptic clues. We will start with if we say number one is the wrist holding the compass, that'll be number one, and then the mountain would be 2, island with a cross would be 3. Let's work that out. Okay, so I'm going to take me and Max off.
We're on and off.
There's no audio.
What's going on? What's going on?
I thought we'd take our ugly mugs off. And then Colin's getting a bit panicky because he's saying there's no audio.
Well, it was a guess. It was a guess there, wasn't it? So you have to guess which one's which.
So Andy's trying to be funny by saying the top one is Go Outdoors Shop.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
It's a bit of sad news about Go Outdoors, really.
It depends, because I heard that they were being rescued.
Excellent. I hope so, because it's a really good store. I like Go Outdoors.
It is a good store. Audio's back, because I took it off. Don't worry about the audio, guys. Don't ever worry about audio now. Oh, no.
Don't be saying that.
I just jinxed myself. But no, don't worry about audio. Okay, so let's try and work these ones out. I have the answers, but I haven't looked at the answers 100%, honestly. So the first, the one holding the compass and the halo, I'm guessing that's Angel of the North. Have you got the answers there, Max?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Because I didn't know we were playing this one.
Yeah. All right. Go on then, Max. Go for the next one.
Oh gosh. Well, there's a few I can remember.
No, you can't. It's not about remembering.
But I can't remember. I can't remember this one.
Okay, so the next one across with the cave and the people is Glastonbury Tor. Not sure about that one. The next one across the island.
Holy Island.
Holy Island. Well done.
Well done, Denise. Denise got that right in the chat.
One underneath the Angel of the North.
That's the Loch Ness, isn't it?
Loch Ness, well done. One across to that. I got this one. Straight away.
Go on then.
Iron Bridge. The Iron Bridge in Bristol.
Ah,
The one across from that.
New Forest.
New Forest. Excellent. One under Loch Ness. This is really, really simple.
Needles.
Needles. Fantastic. Well done. One across from that.
Cat bells.
Where's the cat bells?
It sounds like a joke, that, doesn't it?
Where's the cat bells?
Where's the cat bells?
Next to that one, I don't know. I've got the answer, but I don't know where this one is. To be honest with you, it's the Old Man of Store. Not sure about that one. The one under the needles. Come on. Hopefully, no one got that one wrong. Stonehenge. Max, what's the next one?
Giant's Causeway.
Giant's Causeway. And the last one, not least, bottom right would be Sycamore Gap, Hadrian's Wall. And there's just a quick, not that you can, that's the answer. Sycamore Gap in Hadrian's Wall. There we are.
Excellent.
And Colin's playing along as well. Well done. Who remembers the first squeaky chair group? I do, because it's still here. It's not
doing it now.
It's not squeaky tonight.
You'll do that and you'll fall off.
Yeah. Absolutely. Goes owned by JD, who putting it, buying it back. Yeah, I heard that. That's what I heard today, that JD Sports have bought back Go Outdoors. The only thing, right, Max, with Go Outdoors is whenever I go there, I don't go there all the time. So I probably go there the day after my membership runs out. So I'm going to repay £5. I'm like, never mind. But yeah, I'm more of a decathlon. But hey, there we are. Do you want another game?
Yeah, go on. Let's have another game.
This is Spot the Difference. So this is what we played in Australia yesterday afternoon. They sent me this one to try and find the differences. There are lots of differences in this one.
How many?
10, if I remember.
Oh, I am going to have to put my glasses on for this one.
What's really hard about this, Max, is we did it on Zoom and we circled the answers. We can't circle the answers on this.
Don't put marker pen against your telly.
Unless you're Jeremy. Jeremy,
I've got a few. Some of them are quite easy.
So we have got, what have we got? We've got the lettering on the helicopter. HJC is the other way around. The guy poking out of the bush, pointing, he's got letters missing off his top. St. John's ambulance missing the lettering message.
Yeah, that's danger missing off the helicopter at the top as well.
Oh yeah, and on the pilot, on the black bit, there's some white dashes missing.
Yep.
Bottom left, there's only one flower and there's two.
Yep. The safety ring on the boat's different colour.
Yep. And the flag is
different.
Red and green.
It's ages since I've done one of these.
It's a good game, isn't it?
It's got me thinking.
Got you thinking. I think, if I remember rightly, that is all the answers. Actually, there's a white. You can't. On the blade, on the left blade, I think there's one missing. Red light and green light.
Green in the helicopter.
Ambulance doesn't have headlights. Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Light at the back of on the tail.
Yeah.
The rotor tail's different. Oh, that's a.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, stripes on the door.
Stripes on the door.
Yeah. See, there's more here than meets the eye. Literally.
Boy's jacket is missing a panel. Boy's jacket is missing a panel. Garage doors. Yeah. The lines on the garage doors. Well done, Adrian, for spotting that one. I could see something wrong with that garage, but I couldn't work out what was wrong with that. Boat flag. We've got that one. We've got the flag. I think that's about it.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That is a little game done.
That's good.
Yeah, well done. Well done to people getting things that we
lots of good answers.
Fantastic. So tonight we're looking at geocaching and we're looking at first aid, but there's things about both of these that are a bit of connections. We got that one actually in 2 flowers and the bottom one, and it's about not having tunnel vision, looking at the wider picture and using all those senses and stuff. And something that we do training at the hospital, and I saw this training. If you've seen this video, my apologies, but it's a really good video. And I do it quite a lot at the training at the hospital, as I say. And it's about trying to look at the big picture. So in an emergency situation, you're so focused on one job, but there's lots of jobs going around your peripheral vision. So there's things going on, and you're so focused, you miss quite a lot of things going. Okay. So Max, I want you to pay attention to this next video. Okay, guys. Don't write in the comments nothing, but just watch this video. Pay attention.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball. How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla? This video is from research by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris and is copyrighted.
Max, did you honestly see the gorilla?
Yeah.
It's a really bizarre video. When I first saw it, I didn't see the gorilla at all. And when you rewatch it, you think, oh, it's a different video. So we didn't believe the lecturer. So we made him replay that video that he showed us from the beginning. And you're like, that's amazing. And there's lots and lots of different videos. You know, I've seen lots.
So then let's see how good your powers of observation are. What was the letter written outside the lift?
Oh yeah, that's.
What was the letter written outside the lift?
I can't remember.
And how many times was it there?
I don't know.
In the chat. Go for it. What was the letter outside the lift?
I remember that question. I do, but I can't remember the answer.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball.
There we are. Yes, twice.
And how many players were wearing black?
Oh. No idea. I was watching the gorilla. See, I didn't see the gorilla when I watched it. But interesting, I played it today to test out Grace, and she didn't see the gorilla, but my wife did see it. So it's all about like peripheral vision and you're so focused on doing a job. Yeah, it's a real interesting one. So what? These
Yep, 3.
three. Right. So Max, let's get on with a bit of first badge work tonight, and that is geocaching.
Geocaching. Ooh. So geocaching. What is geocaching? So geocaching is using an app or a GPS that uses billion-pound satellites floating in the sky to find small boxes of Tupperware around locations in the UK. So, in a nutshell, you use a device. So this is a GPS. This is an eTrex one. And you go to a website for geocaching.com, download some coordinates, GPS coordinates, into your cache, into your GPS, and go around and find one of these caches. So I'll show this on screen. This is near me. Ooh, get that in focus, because the camera auto focuses and now it's not focusing. Brilliant. And there's several types there. So you can see the happy smiley faces down here. Those are ones that I've found. And the ones in blue are the ones that I haven't found. Well, it's green. I said blue. So there are different types of caching out there. And this is one that I could. So I'm using the standard geocaching application, and that tells me I can navigate to it or log it. So what you do is you go out with the app and you load some caches up into your phone, and then you go out and you go searching, and these things will be hidden, and they could be what they call nano caches, which are very small, up to big Tupperware boxes like this, big ones, depending on where they're hidden. And they contain like a stash loot. So the things you normally get in a cache will be a logbook. This is what this is. This is off a small cache. And you basically write that you've been to that cache on one of the lines. So you each have a username, and you normally write your username on the logbook. And then there'll be something in there that you can trade or swap, some small plastic toys or something like that. So it's great to take the kids out and swap some toys in there. There was a big spate of loads of McDonald's based toys going into some of these caches at one point. Might return as it's open again. But the whole point of this is just have fun and get out and see new areas and find where you're going. So if we picked a cache, and I'll find one to go and find in the app. So using the app on your phone these days is a lot easier than using one of these. We have to download GPS coordinates into the GPS and go and find it. So we'll use longitude and latitude. So if you go back to your map reading, then it uses grid references to go and find the cache. And there are different caches out there based on different levels of difficulty as well. So there's lots of easy based caches that you can go and find quite simply. There we go. So I'm going to go and find this one, which is somewhere in the middle of the country. And if I click on it, I can then navigate to that cache. And this one's somewhere in the region of about 86 kilometers away. It's quite a far cache, this one. But it'll give you directions of where you need to go to get to that cache. So if there's one locally towards you, you can get to it. And then using the app, you can bring up a compass and look at where you're going. So you've got your longitude and latitude at the bottom. I'll come on to that one in a minute. And the compass will give you the direction that you need to travel. However, when you're caching, I always take a normal compass with me. But the thing about phones and compasses together, which is why I haven't brought mine here, is this produces a magnetic field. And if you put your compass next to your phone, then it affects the compass reading. So always make sure that you have to use your compass away from your phone. So put your phone down and go over and do that one. So I think the hardest one I've done was a 5.5 that was in a tunnel underground that I went to go and do. I can't remember the name of it. Normal compass, that's cheating. No, it's not. So I went and did a big geocaching meet a couple of years back, and there was a big trail that had been put out for the meet, and we had everyone was using their GPS and things, but I'd also taken a map and compass with me, so I knew exactly where I was and was able to find my way round. And because a lot of the GPSs were playing up in a particular area, weren't working very well, so it's always good to have it. So I use the standard geocaching application, which is by Groundspeak, and it's just the geocaching.com application. So if you go to Google Play or iTunes on your phone and look up geocaching, you'll see there's a couple there. So there's one called CGO, which is another particular one that you can look at, and that's like that. Or you can use the standard one. So when you get in, or I'll cover levels in a minute. When you get into caching, you'll find that there's some that are general caches that are out there, and there are some that are premium caches. So you have to pay a small subscription to get those ones. The levels are levels of difficulty. So it depends if you're if it's on a path, so anybody could reach it, or it's a lot harder terrain, and you need particular skills and kit to go and get them. For instance, there's a set in the States around the special forces, and you need to be a climber to go and get one. And there's one underwater as well that you have to go and get as well. There's a big series of them. So it's only sort of people with certain skills can do those ones. But there's one cache that only a certain select few in the whole world can get. It's the highest cache that there is. Anybody know where that one is? I think we mentioned it a few weeks ago. See if anybody in the chat knows. So while waiting for that, what you can also get are trackables. And this is a trackable. And on the back, nope, it's not Everest. It's higher than Everest. Yeah, Andy's got it. International Space Station. There's actually a cache and a trackable on the International Space Station. So one for astronauts. On the back of the trackable is a number, but I'm not showing this one because I've not registered it yet. And you put these into a cache, and you can attach something to them.
And he's clicked the button to the mouse. Just as I was getting into that. So we'll continue. The trouble is, the reason I took myself off is I haven't really done much geocaching. The reason is I live in London, okay, and I've tried to do geocaching. And my ones around my local area, when I've gone, have been empty or they've been stolen. And then the other thing, so what I thought I would do is speak to a few other scout groups in my district and see if we could put our own kind of geocaching map together. And they did the same thing. They went and had a look around, and they couldn't find them either. So my problem in London is all the caches have either been nicked or the actual pot has been emptied. I don't know if you heard that, Max, but we were just talking about the reason why I haven't done much geocaching. We were talking before that they've all been emptied, and it's a real. So like it's not a risk assessment. Well, it was a risk assessment, but it was a more making sure that it was a decent find. So I did beforehand go to these places, and they were just emptied. It's just real pain.
Yeah, so that's the kind of trick to this, that I'd had a lot of caches out myself around some local parks, and I'd gone through all the trouble of getting all the right agreement and getting those caches out there and stuff. And after a while, they just got damaged. And it wasn't for people doing geocaching. It's, there are people out there who just load it up and go and nick them all.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, some of these, become
that people discover them by accident. Like they're not.
I think
some aren't well hidden, are they?
No, some discover them. The bigger ones are harder to. The small nano ones are magnetic on the back of a gate or something, are hard to find. The ones that are bigger got muggled.
Is that the term? Is that the term?
Yeah, it is. You have to cover well and hide well. Thanks for that. But so the whole thing about it is that some of them get done, which is why we put some of them into the premium range, so they can't easily be discovered, and you have to know they're there. So if you put them into a basic, into a busy park, the chances are you're going to get found. But it's great fun. It's great to get out there. Yeah. I've had caches out there for a good few years now, and it's great to go in and see them, because you get lots of different cards from people that have visited the cache.
Yeah.
I've had comments from people around the world, and seeing some of my trackables go around the world is great to watch as well. So one of these is in the post to you, Mark. One is in the post to Colin. When you get them, make sure you register them on your account, and we're going to hold a race to see how far we can get around the world.
Right. So I'm really basic at the geocaching. Yeah, we've been talking about it. And what am I trying to say? Because I don't know the terminology. You were talking about nanos and stuff like that. What size is that?
This will probably go into probably a medium to large cache.
Okay.
So a nano is just basically a small container that will hold a piece of paper called a logbook.
Yeah.
A small cache could be, this kind of size, or a film canister, one of the old 35mm film canisters. They were great.
Yep. I've loved
them. Yeah. And then you then start getting into Tupperware. But you can get really sneaky with caches these days, and you build fantastic cache boxes. You can get some that look like nuts and bolts that fit on the side of gates. So unless you know it's a cache, you wouldn't know it's that bolt is actually.
So for me, as a beginner, I've got the app, and like I told you, I got frustrated about 2 years ago when I was trying to
Yep.
to get this thing going, and all of them were either nicked or emptied. And I thought, you know what? I'm not doing this. I've only re-downloaded it after talking to you, like 2 weeks ago, whenever we were discussing doing geocaching. So I'm a basic beginner, right?
Yep.
Okay. You're jealous of my. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. So there's a lot of people. I get this. Let's just use this. Let's use one of Grace's erasers. So this is my geocache that you've sent to me. Yeah.
No, you're trackable.
Okay. My cache. Yeah.
No. So this is a trackable that goes inside a cache.
Okay.
So the cache
is a box.
Think of it as a box.
Yep.
And that location of that box is given a reference number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that bit.
That's what you search for on your phone.
I get that bit.
Inside that box, you put the trackable. Okay. So we register the trackable first.
And the grid reference and stuff.
You register this on your account.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go into your account, there's a number on the back, you put that in, you say it's yours, you give it a name.
Yeah.
And then when you put it out and people discover it, okay, they log the book. Or they log the cache, they log the trackable. Okay.
So is the book a physical bit of paper, or is it on the app?
Yeah. So you can write your name on here, and you should write your name. So make sure you take a pen with you.
Hang on, let's just see that a bit bigger, mate.
So you write your name on here, and this starts. So this is the name of the cache and who created it, and its GC number, which is its caching number that it's given when it's accepted, and you just sign your name, okay, your caching name on one of these lines. And that means that you've actually visited that cache.
Yeah, and you've
because some cache owners, right, you very easily can use the app and just log loads of caches. Okay.
Yeah.
And so as cache owners, what you do is you take this and you check it just to make sure that people are actually visiting the cache.
Yeah.
So somebody finds your trackable.
My question is, Max, sorry, what, I think you might have answered this, but what container would you recommend to use for that size? Because that's not going to film in it.
No, this will be a medium or a large one, a large cache.
A Tupperware box. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So people will basically log it, use the number on the back of this to log it, and then pick it up and take it. And they take it from the cache they found it and place it into another cache somewhere else. And then people that eventually travel the world again pick these things up and take them to another country. So I've got tags in this country, in the US, in all over Europe. They're all over the place. And then you have to see how far it actually travels when somebody picks it up and puts it into a cache. And then for each time it's discovered and each cache it goes into, it logs the miles that it's done between those caches.
Yeah.
So it's the one that does the most miles.
So would I want to put my cache in a, not easy, but a place that is easily be found? So if I lived in the middle of nowhere, I don't really want to do that, do I? I want to put it more in a town. So I'm thinking where I work in central London, where it'd be easily discovered.
So I'll be careful about caching too much in where in the central London. If it's in the parks and it's an approved cache, then yes. But so go and find one in a park, basically, that'll fit this. And just watch it then, because people look at the caches and you'll see from the cache on the app if there's a trackable in there. So they go and find the trackables and log the trackables and then send it on. to another cache.
Oh dear, he's back again. Oh, I dropped my mouse.
There's always one. Yeah. So as Colin says, there's a great video on geocaching.com that explains how to do this. But the great thing is that you can make your own cache if you register it and you get permission to put one in. You can make your own caches up, but they do take a lot of work if you're doing that. So if you're starting back out again, just go and find them. Find a few. And it's great because it takes you to places that you would never have really known were there, especially around local areas. There's lots of great routes and parks and stuff.
I was looking at in my lunch break where I could go for a walk, trying to find these geocaches, and there was one saying, describe the road, go up the cobbled road, and this is where I first met my husband for our first romantic kiss, and there's a whatever. So that was her kind of cryptic clue. So I will try and go and find that on one of my lunches.
Yeah, right. They've changed the rules on that then, Jeremy. But there's some great ones out there that are puzzle caches. So there's different types of caches as well.
Yep.
There's a bog standard cache you can go and find. There's mystery caches. So you might have to visit 2 or 3 caches before you actually find the actual cache.
Give you a clue.
Yeah.
To the next
so
one.
You go to a puzzle cache.
Yeah.
That gives you a clue to the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
Okay.
And if you do there's series of caches out there that then give you the final clue. And there are some great ones. One's called, I don't know if it's still there. One's called White Noise, and there's one called Werewolf, which you have to solve puzzles on the internet before it gives you the coordinates to get there, and they're very very hard to do. You have to kind of crack the codes and things on them to get to the next one. Earth caches are great. Earth caches, they're kind of a virtual cache. So it's not an actual cache itself, but it's normally an area of special scientific interest, an SSI area, and that they take you to some great places, absolutely fantastic places.
Well, this is to get you out and about, isn't it? But lockdown, can we do it during lockdown?
As long as you obey social distancing rules, then yeah. My camp blankets are trackable because you can get trackable patches, and you put them on your.
And this is what I want to do, John. I want to do it with my scouts. So unless I team up with some new scout groups and do it all new, put new caches down, I guess.
Well, do it when you go on a camp in a different area.
One thing that's been mentioned actually during COVID-19 is make sure that you sanitize your caches once you've found them. Good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you can go back camping, yeah, there's a thought. Do it when you can.
Yeah.
Do it in different areas. Do it when you go on holiday. There's lots of times to do it in the future.
Yeah.
But just go and discover one out locally and see what you see. Take you out to a different area.
See what you see. That wasn't it? No, say what you see. That's catchphrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Say what you see. Oh wow! Right, so more people are taking the mickey. Mark, that would be fun. No, Rosie, don't worry about that. I went geocaching when I was a cub. Oh, beside the tracks, a series near. There's actually one by one of our tube stations. Yeah. But yeah,
It's good. It's good. Gets you out. It's a good
Yeah.
bit of fun.
Well, look at the time. That's nearly like most of our evening talking about geocaching. It's a big topic, isn't it?
It is.
And it's probably
Right.
good. It's all kind of scouting and stuff like that. Should we play
Should
some
we
videos?
play some videos? Let's do some.
Let's do some of this. Now today I want to show you a little trick about if your wood is wet. And this is something I've been teaching my scouts. So when they've gone to collect the wood to get the fire going, they come back and they say, Mark, all the wood is wet. We can't get the fire going. Using something really cheap, I can guarantee you, you'll get their fire going. Okay, we've got to look into my fire lighting kit. Let's have a look. Okay, so Grace is going to show you what this little simple technique and tool is. This is my fire kit when she finds it. Ta-da! What is it, Grace?
Sharpener.
It's a pencil sharpener, and this is how easy it is for a 5-year-old to make shavings. Okay, right, so we got some wood, and this is how simple it is to start making some tinder, because the wood on the outside is wet, but in the inside it's nice and dry. So what you do is you get your young people, your scouts, and they make shavings. It takes a while, but as you can see, even Grace, a beaver, can do this. So it's all a bit of a process, isn't it? Maybe you get your beavers to make the shavings, and then the cubs light it using their fire still, and then the scouts, maintain the fire. Right, so it takes a few minutes, but after a while you'll get a big bundle like this. So Grace has just spent 5 or so minutes making a whole load of shavings with the help of Daddy. But as you can see, you can make some really nice shavings from using a simple pencil sharpener. It's good, isn't it, Grace?
Yeah.
She's got the giggles. Right, let's show you how easy it is to light it. Right, so I've just added a bit of kapok, this fluffy stuff, or you can use cotton wool just to help catch those sparks. And let's put some more on there. Well, hey, it's falling down, Grace, isn't it? Right, so there we are. It's caught. And it's just as easy as that. And then the fire will go. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed our little trick vlog on using a pencil sharpener to create some shavings to help your young people make their own fire if the wood is wet. And even so, if they can't find any tinder, it's really good. Just like that. And
Tonight on Not Cam, we're going to tie a sheet bend. Okay, and this is where we form a knot with 2 pieces of rope that are not the same size. Join them together. So on our big piece of rope, we form a bend. And we take our smaller piece of rope and we come up through the loop. We go under 2 pieces of rope and we go through the loop we just formed there, and that is called a sheet bend, and that is for linking 2 bits of rope of an equal or similar size together.
well, there we are. Bit of videos to break it up. Yeah. So a few people are having an early night tonight. Alison's going, thank you for joining us tonight, Alison. So I I decided to find an old vlog just to play, and we've already had some comments about the fire still. Yes, you're meant to hold the fire still, strike it up, not downwards. I've got a new vlog about how to use a fire still properly. So there's always someone who has to make a comment, isn't there? Always someone. And I did chuckle, Max, during your not cam when you said that these 2 lengths are not the same size.
Yeah, 2 lengths of rope.
Did you put the not in for a reason?
Did I do what, sorry?
You said the 2 lengths are not the same size.
Oh, yeah. Same thickness. Yeah.
Same thickness. What? Right, it's 5 to 8. Should we do a craft cam or should we do a bit of first aid? What should we do? What should anyone in chat? We can decide. 5, 4. Anyone? Okay then. Bye.
Hello, welcome to Craft Cam. Bit of a messy one, this one, so let's get into it. Got some modelling clay. I've got some couple of flowers, so a buttercup and some grass. Plastic bag to put the modelling clay in afterwards that I don't use. And let's get started. Right, so I've got some modelling clay. I've also got a cup of water and a bit of paper towel, because modelling clay is wet and you get your hands all mucky, so make sure you put something down. What we want to do is split the modelling clay into 2 equal sized lumps, and we're going to make some squares. So form your modelling clay into 2 squares. You could make more. I'm just going to make 2 for now. So I've got 2 almost square blocks, rectangle blocks. I've used a little stick to help me roll those out, which is basically a skewer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grass and I'm going to take my buttercup, and I'm going to position them onto the block where I want them, and then I'm going to press down very gently. So I'm placing the imprint into the block. And all you want is the imprint. We don't actually want the flower or the grass to stay in the block. I'll just use my stick to help me roll over. And when you have those in, pull those out very gently. Now we've got to let that dry. Don't worry about the grass seed in there, that'll be fine. It's air clay, so we need to let this dry now, which is going to take a good few hours. So we'll come back to it when it's dry. And I'll just place it on some paper towel out of the way. When you've finished, make sure you put your clay back into a plastic bag so it's sealed, so it doesn't all dry out. See you later. So here I've just got some watercolours, and I'm just going to do this, but you could use felt tips, or you could use pencil crayons to do this. And I'm just going to colour these in now in exactly the same colours that the flowers and the grass were. So here we are. I've now painted using watercolours in this instance, although as I said you could use felt tips or pencil crayons, into the clay, and created some quite basic flower tablets. So you could use these, make games of them, or you could put some holes into them as you're forming the clay, and then use those as to hang up. You could even, make bigger ones for presents for people, even towards Christmas, and make Christmas decorations, similar kind of thing. But I recommend using the air dry clay for these rather than the kind of Filmo clay that you need to fire in the oven, and because it's white and porous, it soaks the paint, soaks the pencil crayons, felt tips up, and forms these. Hope you've enjoyed. Let's see your creations on the Facebook page.
Beautiful work, Max, but I have one problem.
Cool.
You mentioned Christmas.
Well, yeah, I know. It's kind of, thinking ahead, planning
Be
ahead.
prepared. Actually, they are really nice. And is it as simple as it looks?
Yeah, it is. If you use, then and you can get this stuff really cheaply. DAS, and there are other modeling clays are available, and just imprint them in. I've just used some basic watercolor paints you saw from a real cheap watercolor kit, and yeah.
I would say yes, Bridget. Bridget's asking would holly leaves work for Christmas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they
the
would do.
berries for them around.
I'd be kind of careful of too much of the curvature on the end of the holly leaves if you're using a thin block. But yeah, and then Andy's right. You varnish them up afterwards, and they'll last quite long. But you could make different shapes. You could do circles. You could do
Make a circle. Make
every night, every time we're on.
6 months now.
Squares, whatever. But it's
holly leaves. Yeah.
Plan ahead. Be
Yeah.
prepared. Be prepared.
Be prepared. Why is it spelled yacht?
It's autocorrect.
Oh, dear, oh dear. You northerners. No, another great craft cam there, Max. Well done. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Is Andy going to tell us why yacht is spelled yacht that way? Or is he use cutters? As imprints. I don't think Denise is getting this. Pastry cutters. It's imprint rather than
you could use pastry cutters and get a nice
the outside
edge on it, outside on it. Yeah. But don't then use them for pastry without making sure they're properly clean.
Unless you're I won't say that comment. A Scouts, are we a Scout scarf for me? The Scout motto is be prepared, Asa. Not from Lion King. Holly cutters. Anyway, right. This could go on. And tonight we're our second part of our badge. Actually, I thought we'd be doing this way earlier on in the night.
Sorry.
It's Craft Cam took over. It was not Craft Cam. Geocaching was really good. I loved geocaching. We're just going to look at emergency aid badge tonight, and we're gonna do it really, really basic because it's really hard to do it on a session like now and just cram it all into only 20 minutes. We can't do that. So I think we'll do some sections as we go over the next couple of weeks because emergency aid, one is really important. What's Terry talk? Use chicken feet and deer. Not during emergency tracks. So emergency, yeah. It's a life skill. It's a skills for life. It means a lot to me because it's my job, and I've been doing it for many, many years. Most of my time, even before scouting, I was in St. John's Ambulance. So I've done first aid for well over 30 years. So it means quite a lot. And I know there's lots of scout leaders out there that are paramedics and also volunteer for St. John's Ambulance and stuff like that as well. In case, okay, yeah. Ace is already ahead of the game. He's already answering questions. So let's look at emergency aid stage 1. Okay, it's really, really simple. And this is for scouts, but it also doubles up for beavers and cubs as well, and also adults. So it's just a really good thing to remind us. So we need to think about why is it important to get help. Okay, and it's important to help in my hospital as well. Okay, so this is first aid, but in my hospital, even when we find a patient, if we're in a ward or something, first thing we do is pull the alarm bell and call for help. And that's what you would do if you found someone, even in your house or in your garden or something. You would shout for help. And the majority of people nowadays always carry a phone with you. But as we know, Signal today, Virgin Media went down. So you can't always rely on this, okay? And this is a bit like what Max was talking about when he was talking about geocaching, yeah? Is that you can't always rely on your phone. He always takes a compass, and that's what I was talking about with first aid. Don't always think about your phone. So we need to shout for help, okay? Help, help. But the first thing to do, okay, is always check for danger, no matter where we are, okay? Before going to look at that casualty, we've got to make sure the area is safe. Okay, so if we're in a park, we've got to make sure, maybe there is a fight going on between whoever, or you have seen someone in a road and it's a busy road, or maybe they're on a bend of a road and a car could come round. It's dark, yeah? So if it's unsafe, you're not going to look after that person, okay? Just call for the ambulance. Don't even risk your life, because the ambulance doesn't want to come and expecting one patient, and in fact there's two patients because you're injured yourself. So the first thing of emergency aid is making sure that the area is safe before you do anything, okay? So then we're going to call 999. But have you ever actually called 999? Now, Max did do it a few weeks ago. His son cut his head. But have you ever called for an ambulance? It's a very, very nervous thing to do if you've never done it before, okay? And, you've got to repeat your name, tell them your phone number in case they lose contact with you, and also they can use that as a location. So if you're using things like what 3 words, that will give that exact location. They can also pin your number using your phone location. And let's not forget about phoning 999. You can actually text 999. Max, did you know you can text 999?
No, I didn't know you could text it.
You can, but you have to set it up first of all. I'll put the link a bit down below about how you can text, okay? It's really important, not just in an emergency situation, but think about maybe in the police, something happens and you can't speak. Maybe you've injured yourself and you can't actually speak. You can text 999 and get help that way. And also, if you're thinking about in the mountains, you can get enough signals to send a text than call. It takes more of a signal to call than text. So you can actually text 999. I would highly make you stress you set up that how you text them, okay? So let's look at part C, is helping someone who is unconscious. So an unconscious patient isn't going to help you. Yeah, they're not awake. Me and Max, it is getting quite late. We are conscious, but as it gets later, we get less and less conscious. And that patient can't respond to you. Okay, so how can you tell that patient is unconscious? If we found someone, maybe in a park, if you're on the way to school, how can you tell that patient's unconscious? Okay, so we've checked for danger and the area is safe. Okay, we're going to go out to the person, and the way I was talking to my scouts is like, maybe you've seen someone, maybe they're just asleep on the bench. It's a sunny day today, and they've just decided to do a bit of sunbathing. And if you go up there and try and start doing CPR and stuff, you're going to hurt that person. Okay, so it's called the shake and shout. Okay, so we're going to go up to that person and we're going to just say, hello, can you hear me? Open your eyes. Okay, so years ago we used to tell them, can you move your hand? But you could break your hand or your wrist or whatever, and you can't actually move that limb. So asking them to open their eyes, they can do it. I'm gonna go bigger. Look, I'm gonna take Max off. I'm gonna do that. Woo! Like this, because I can. So making sure that the patient is awake. Okay, we don't want to go up to someone and they're sleeping. So shake and shout. Hello, can you hear me? Open your eyes. So we want to give them a command. Okay, shake them, cause a little bit of pain, because if you hurt them too much, don't hurt them too much, but they will respond to a bit of pain. So they're not responding, but they are breathing. Okay, we can see the chest rising. We can feel it on our cheek. So that patient's unconscious. Okay, so they're not replying to us. They're not asleep because you can't physically wake them up. So we're going to call for help. There doesn't seem to be any bleeding or anything. We've called for help. Okay, we've asked 999, or we've sent someone to go and get adult help. Okay, and if you do actually send someone, tell them to come back and tell you. What you don't want to do is send your best mate to, number 5 down the road to ask them to call an ambulance. but he actually doesn't do it. You remember, oh, there's the ice cream van, or he's got his mate, and you think that he's gone to get help. You'll be sitting there for hours. Okay, so when you send someone, even if they're making a phone call, tell them to come back and confirm that they've asked for help, ambulance or whoever, or an adult. Okay, so you must do that when you get for help. Okay, so the unconscious person. So we're going to put them in the recovery position. Okay. Next week, we're going to show you how to do recovery position. It's more of a video to show you, but that way the patient is laying on their side. It's easier to breathe. And if they do vomit, it will go down and they're not going to regurgitate it and cause a whole load of problems. Okay. So that's in a real brief nutshell, how to deal with an unconscious person. Okay. Support them, reassure the people around them, but get that person safe, get the help and into the recovery position. Next, we'll look at we're going to look at bleeding. Okay, where are we? Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to look at bleeding. How are we going to stop bleeding? It's really difficult. It is to assess. Okay, so if you see someone bleeding, just get help straight away. Help straight away. Help straight away. That is the golden rule. But there's a few things that we got to do. We got to try and get that bleeding above the heart. Okay, so we're going to apply some pressure if they cut their wrist or something. Apply a tourniquet to try and stem that bleeding. Okay, so we might have to push on it, but always wear gloves. Okay, universal precautions. Wear gloves. Okay, as much as you can. It's difficult if you haven't got gloves, but there's lots of infections and stuff like that. And if you haven't got gloves and you don't really know that person, I wouldn't recommend you going to touch that blood. Okay, so look after yourself. It's the number one rule of first aid. Make sure that you are safe. The number one person is you in this situation. Okay, so apply some pressure onto that bleeding, lift that above the heart, maybe get a old clean, not dirty, but get a towel, wrap it up, get some pressure on that bandage, and then we're going to really hold that down above the heart. Okay, how long are we going to hold it on for? Either until the bleeding stops or until help comes. Okay, what you mustn't do, okay, I've seen this time and time again, and it's real sad, is that say the person's cut themselves here, you apply a bit of dressing. It's a sterile dressing bandage. It goes there. It's bleeding a lot and it soaks through. Okay, what you mustn't do is take that dressing off and put a new one on. Okay, because basically under that bit of cloth is we're trying to perform and get a clot. Okay, and you might peel back that clot. So if the blood is bleeding through that dressing, apply another dressing over the top. Raise it, get it above the heart. Okay. That's the key, above the heart, and put a whole lot of pressure onto that. Okay, so get a tourniquet on as much as you can. Okay, where's Max gone? I've taken him off. He's having a break. He's getting hot. Try your best to stop the flow of the blood, prevent infection, and raise the limb above the heart if you can. Exactly right, Asa. Okay, get them all that pressure onto that, and then the last part of emergency aid level 1. Is to reassure someone at the scene of emergency. Okay, and that's really, really important. Reassurance. Okay, because it is a real shock to see. Okay, it's not a nice thing to see. I saw an incident today on in the train station when I was coming home from work in Paddington. There was a bit of an incident going on there. I didn't get involved because there were paramedics already there, but lots of people suffer shock. Okay, it's a really nasty thing. Asa, well done. That's brilliant. And shock can go on to cause other things. But shock and treating that person, things are going to be okay. Get them sitting down, maybe give them a sip of water. Just reassure them. Keep talking to that person. Help is on their way. And that's what you do to an unconscious person as well. Keep talking to that person. It might sound really, really strange, but lots of reassurance. Lots of reassurance. Things are okay. Help is coming. It's okay. And just keep reassuring that person, because shock can cause more problems than you think. Okay, so a lot of reassurance, and that's kind of roughly, as I say, in a nutshell, about level 1 emergency aid. And if we were doing it in the Scout Hut, there would be a lot more things that we would cover in a bit more depth. Okay, so we've looked at the importance of getting help. You've got to get help straight away. Okay, but what they haven't put in this, there should be like a 1 star, is the first thing you do is make sure you are safe. Most important thing before you go and look after any patient, make sure you are safe. Maybe there's someone laying in a pool of water and they've touched electrics. You go over there, boom, you're going to get electric shock and you're going to end up as a casualty. You see someone laying in the road, you run out, boom, you're going to hit by a car. You're going to end up as a casualty. So always make sure the scene is safe before you start. And if it's unsafe, you're not going to get involved. You're going to call the ambulance and you're going to tell them, you know, it's not safe for me to do, and this is a casualty, XYZ, what you can do. Okay, so that's real basic of emergency aid 1, level 1 for scouts. It is really basic, but using those few skills that we've talked about tonight could save a life. Okay, but we're going to expound on that in the next couple of weeks. We're going to look a little bit more into first aid. We're going to go up the levels and do more and more, because I think it really is a skills for life. Okay, and this is like, if you talk to my scouts, this is a real big passion of mine, and it's very bizarre that something's going to happen to me tomorrow. I know that, because when I teach emergency aid, something always happens that week. And I did it. I was invited to another scout group in my old hometown. Okay, and I went along, and I taught them first aid over 3 or 4 weeks. And one of the scouts came up to me and he said, "Mark, I really want to say thank you very much, because I was involved in the park, and we saw some boys have a crash. We ran over there, and using the first aid that you taught me, we calmed them down. We calmed the patients around it. A helicopter came and all that kind of thing. And I had another phone call. This was really sad. Rosie, it's one of our scouts, but from a few years ago. I don't think Rosie knows him, but I was talking to Rosie, will know the story. I got a random message from his mum saying that sadly his dad passed away, but he wanted to speak to me because I don't know, when it was 6-7 years ago, I taught him first aid, and he remembered CPR that I taught him. The ambulance were talking to him through. He remembered he had flashbacks of me teaching him using the resuscitation, and he had to do CPR on his own dad. Sadly, his dad passed away in the hospital from a few of those effects. But he called me and we had a very long chat, and he actually thanked me and said, you know, if we didn't do that CPR skills, he probably wouldn't have enough courage to do it for real, let alone on his dad. And I don't know how you would do it on your dad. Like, it's horrible, Max. But having that basic skills for life of doing CPR, which I will go through over the next couple of weeks, it's just amazing skills for life. You know, you never know what's going to happen, and if you just have a little bit of knowledge, it's better than no knowledge. Yeah. But as I keep saying, always put yourself, safety number 1. Yeah, put yourself. If it's unsafe, do not get involved. Just call the emergency aid services, tell them what you've seen, and they will deal with it. Yeah, don't try and be a hero. We're not superheroes. You know, my skills are in the operating theatre. I have equipment there. There's more doctors there. There's a big team that's going to come there. And when I'm out on my own, I'm on my own. You know what I mean? So you have to think of the situation and kind of go, actually, what have they got? What's the backing up? Know your limits. That's what I'm probably trying to say. You know, don't try and be a superhero, but try and help. That's probably the key for tonight. Yeah, that's my little rant. Yeah, but we'll do some more first aid over the next couple of weeks. Who is messaging me? Why is he laughing at me? I got a text, someone laughing at me. That's not nice. Okay. Yeah, so lots of comments in the chat. Thank you very much. Exactly the examples my scout leader gave me. Cool, that's good. That's good. Ace's mom is a nurse. Fraser's mom is a doctor. Excellent, cool. Adrian married a nurse. Bridget's here as well. What about being like Doctor Strange? Oh dear. Anyway, right, 8:20. Wowzers, this is an awesome stream tonight. Thank you very much for everyone getting in touch. It's great. Max has had his little bit of highlight. I've had my little bit. Yeah. Scout outs. Let's do some scout outs. All right. Do you want to talk, Max? Go on. I need a slurp of tea.
Okay. So from the shouts that we've had in, 4th Bramall, 4th Broadstairs, 21st Bournemouth.
Oh,
Yep, what's that?
the bit at the bottom of the tea. I went,
1st Cockermouth Scouts, 4th Hounslow, 8th Ealing,
yes.
1st Rothwell, 1st Stanmore, 1st Winoa, 1st Heaton Vale Sea Scouts, 46th Gloucester, 1st Squeaky Chair Scout Group, that's you again, 1st Wibbly Wobbly Webcam, 1st Winslow.
Wibbly Wobbly. Wibbly Wobbly was last week.
Absolutely.
That was on the after party.
Absolutely. I will have to change my mouse again. It is misbehaving.
Guys, talking about after party. There's no after party tonight because it is absolutely boiling. It is really boiling. Look at that! Look at that! Toronto Scouts are in the house. Hello, Dan is in the building. Excellent, cool. Yeah, guys, talking about next week. There won't be a stream next week because me and this ugly one down there. Me and Colin are attending a big scout webinar, and it's all about reintroducing scouting face to face and some precautions, what we're going to need and steps and stuff like that. So it's a real important webinar that we need to attend. So we can't leave Max here on his own, but we'll be back the week after. So no party next week either. What's Andy saying? Andy's saying it's too hot for an after. Everyone wants to take the shirts. Oh, maybe I should take that one down. There's always one to lower the tone. There's always one. The squeaky chair's back.
Yeah, no, it is a warm night.
It is once in
tonight.
Currently is 26. Wow, 26. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What's this one doing?
It's just
it's 29 here. 29 degrees. Hot
because you're here, Colin. Hot.
No one says because I'm here.
So
we might have to just do a little something and release something on Thursday.
Well, we could make a pre-recorded video or something like that. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But yeah, there definitely won't be a live stream next week. Sorry, guys, but there are some things we need to do, and it's a really important meeting that Max doesn't have to go because it's a meeting for managers. You're not Group Scout leader, are you, Max?
No, I'm an ADC.
So you'll be going as well then. He's trying to get out of it. He's keeping this quiet. 28 in Wigan. Naughty hot badge. Are you pre-recording a Big Man in the Woods but putting it up when the stream starts? Maybe, Fraser. We need to work on that. Craft Cam combination. Wait, no, moderators can't. Maybe. It's getting a little bit more tricky now because everyone's back at full-time work. I'm back full-time work at the hospital and stuff, so I don't have that much free time to do a whole lot of stuff just because work, family, and other bits and pieces. We'll see what happens. Next week's meeting, is it a leaders? Is it for all leaders, isn't it? Am I under the impression it was just for managers?
I thought it was just for managers. It could be all members.
I
didn't even mention it last night.
I thought it was just for managers, but it was in today's email. So if you didn't get an email, you're not invited. 29 in Gloucester. Wow. Sing a song with everyone. I'm not doing any sing-songing tonight. I'm not doing sing-a-song. No.
Make a circle.
I did that. We did that. They did mention it last night. Okay. Well,
Okay. There we go. Then we'll all be at the meeting.
We will all be there. Yeah. Okay. Is it all members was in the email that went out? All right. I thought it was a manager's, but hey, we won't be here either way. But we'll be back here the following week, so don't worry about that. Stay in touch. What will be really cool is something we haven't talked about for a long time is sunflower seeds. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We want to see your sunflowers. We have not had an updated photo for a few weeks now, so we want to see your sunflowers. I've only got 2 now, Max. I had 7, but only 2 have survived. Lots have been eaten by caterpillars and stuff.
Yeah, the weather's not helped.
Yeah, they do like watering, don't they?
Let's think of a competition next time, because I'll give away a trackable as well.
Oh. Need to stick into that meeting. Leon's getting a big sunflower. That's awesome. But I'm not having very good results. Like I said, I've only got 2. Look at them. We're not singing. Right, guys. Yeah. So upload those photos of the sunflowers. We want to see how you're doing with Max's competition that he run weeks ago, Max, wasn't it? Weeks and weeks ago. That'll be really good videos. And Max's craft camp tonight. That'll be great. Chloe, once I planned it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so we really want to see Max's craft camp that you did. When does this finish? In 2 minutes. We're gonna go and get drinks and cool down and stuff. It's really hot tonight. And hopefully I'll get a bit of nice sleep that I did last night. It was real sticky and a bit yucky last night, wasn't it? Or was it just me?
No, it was warm.
It was warm.
Yeah.
Really good. Really enjoyed Craft Family. It was a very good one, Max. I will.
I'm trying to beat myself each week on something different, so we'll see what else we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, guys, it's time for this.
Okay, first YouTube scout group. Troop alert. Troop dismissed.
Guys, have a great week. Keep washing those hands. Stay safe. And me and Max and Colin will see you in 2 weeks' time. Facebook us, email us. We want to see those photos. Guys, stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.